we were good for a while, weren't we? Tell me I'm not losing it, I've already lost you. Can we just find a way to make it back to how it used to be when we could fall in love each day? If you're gone, then I can't go on. I swore you'd be here to stay, holding on to make you one more day. Must be another way. Now you're free and I'm free falling. You'll never look back, holding on to make you one more day. Must be another way.
I got a new microphone. I don't know how the quality is going to be. This might change from this clip to the last clip. I'm trying to work out if it's worth doing in vlogs or to just use the built-in mic. I also want your feedback on how you enjoy the sound of the microphone. So if you could leave in the comments if you like the sound of the microphone or like it with the built-in mic. I'm going to be doing some clips with the mic, some clips without the mic. And tell me which clip you enjoy the most, and then I can be able to decipher from that which sound quality or sound system you like better. But that is not what I'm here for. I am here to do a little quick haul and then update you on my reading progress. So my friend Seffi over at What Effie Reads, always linked in the description, was an absolute darling and gifted me some things. So I have here the whole Ember and the Ashes quartet. And it's so weird because like this, there's just this one book that's turned the wrong way. But this is like amazing. This is a series that I really wanted to read. I'm so intrigued, and I never fell on the hype wagon when it came out because I can't remember if the series was like halfway done when I started watching BookTube. I would have to look that up. But yeah, like this has been on my radar for a while, and I'm so glad that I now get to read it. And then we have quickly just the books I got in my horror subscription box. If you do not know, I subscribe to the Abominable Book Club box. I will leave my unboxing linked somewhere. But I got the Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. I got Bird Box by Josh Malerman. With this book box, you get a new release or a 2022 release and a secondhand book. And then I got the Gasling Tales of Ghosts, the Macabre, and the Oh So Strange. And that was what I received in my book box, which I'm happy about because I will read all of that. Then Sethi again got me something I am so overly stupidly excited about. And I'm just gonna, yes, the 4 volumes of Heartstopper. I mean, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. I mean, just how lucky I am to have a friend that is just so generous and giving and lovely. Makes me so happy. I had my eye on these, obviously, for a while. I've read the first one. Welcome to a vlog. Today I'm going to be talking about Heartstopper, Volume 1. In this vlog, I kind of want to read all the Heartstopper books and just kind of like vibe out on like the romance and the lovey-dovey, all the lovey-dovey vibes. So this fulfilled the prompt for my TBR Tarot game, which will be linked in the description if you would like to see how I pick my books every month. This fulfilled the prompt BookTube rec, and it's everywhere on BookTube. I really enjoyed this. This was cute. Now, I read Heartstopper when it first came out, this first volume, and then I got scared because of the hype, and people absolutely adore this series, and I got really scared to read it because I was scared it wasn't going to live up to the hype. So I've actually never read this series before, and rereading this one book that I've read was just such an experience. It made me so happy. It's so cute. It made me smile, and the artwork is just absolutely adorable. Like, you've probably seen it about 1,000,000 times now. I don't think I'm going to be saying anything different from the mass majority of booktube, but I just kind of want to document my cute vibes with these. And I really like Nick and Charlie. I liked where this last book ended up, because it ended up with them kissing. And I'm gonna speak spoilers about all of the Heartstopper books because I feel like they're so widely known, and like, I don't think anyone, if you don't want to be spoiled, then that's totally fine, but I think at this point everyone knows what Heartstopper is. And at the end of this book, they kissed, and then it just goes like this one bit where Nick shows up at Charlie's house, and then it's like continued in volume 2. So yeah, this was so cute. I really enjoyed this, and I'm so happy to be reading this series. I hopefully plan to read Heartstopper Volume 2 and Heartstopper Volume 3. I would also like to start Magnolia Park. In this video, I would like to read all of the Heartstopper books and the Magnolia Park book. These are really quick and fun and easy to read, so this alongside a novel should be doable, but it just depends how busy my weekend gets. So I will come back once I have read some more of Heartstopper and tell you all my cute happy thoughts. I'm back and I've been reading Heartstopper Volume 2, and this has been really good. I've really been enjoying this volume. I've actually finished it. I gave the first one 5 stars. I'm giving this one 5 stars. I understand why everyone loves this, and even though it's a very simple story, it's also a very relatable and important story to be told, and I wish I had this when I was younger. And to have something like this now for people to easily be able to pick up and read is so nice. I love that. I understand why everyone absolutely adores these books. They're so cute and so relatable that it's a fun time, and I've been getting through them really quickly. Obviously, they don't take much to read because they are pretty just filled with easily readable drawings, and it's just really cute. It's really fun, and it's making me happy, which I really needed. So yeah, another 5 stars for this volume of Heartstopper. I took time off reading Heartstopper to start Magnolia Parks by Jessica Hastings, and I did not know what this was going in. I heard things, but I didn't know the premise of the story. In this, we follow Magnolia Parks, who is an entitled rich socialite, and she is having a hard time because she is in love with someone that wasn't great to her, and they're no longer together. BJ is his name. I wish that he was just called Baxter, which is his actual name, because every time I read BJ, as immature as it is, it does not sound right to me, and I wish that he was just called Baxter. But that's like probably a really personal thing. I don't know, it just cringes me out. Okay, I don't think I wouldn't give someone the nickname BJ. I don't know why, it just cringes me out. Regardless of that, we follow them, and they've been friends for a very long time. They were in a relationship. It is quite clear that BJ still loves Magnolia, but he messed up, so they are no longer together. I don't know how I feel about this. In the 160 pages that I've read, there's probably been about 5 pages where Magnolia just tells you the designers that someone's wearing, and I understand this sets up who this character is. It also sets up like how she thinks, but I feel like this only needed to happen a couple of times, and it does not need to be repeated throughout the book, because honestly, I don't care. Like, as long as you establish that they're from money and they have the best of everything, then I really don't need to know exactly what they're wearing. I don't know, it just annoys me. And then also Magnolia, I'm not 100% on her character. She was asked what a pet peeve of hers was, and she says girls that wear no makeup on Instagram and tell you they're wearing no makeup on Instagram, like, we know, like, and she was like, I just don't understand why being unkempt is something to be proud of. And I just don't like that. Like, I feel like it is brave to put yourself on the internet, especially with no makeup, and especially if you don't have perfect skin. I don't like the way that it was phrased in this book. It came across as really mean and nasty. And then there was another point where she says, like, she was kind of panicking and she was like, I'm not having a panic attack because I don't get panic attacks, because panicking is for people that don't have control of their life. Now, as someone who deals with an anxiety disorder, I don't agree with this. I feel like it doesn't matter how much control you have over your life. There's always going to be things you can't control, and that doesn't matter what your situation is. And I think it's very naive to say that you only panic if you don't have control of your life. Like, I don't like that. So I'm not 100% on Magnolia as a character. I'm also not 100% on BJ as a character. I don't know, this book's getting really hyped and I just don't know if I would like these people to be together, because unfortunately they're quite toxic. I'm going to speak a little bit of spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I will put on screen so you're not, and you can come back and get my non-spoiler thoughts when I read some more. Spoiler thoughts. Magnolia and BJ are quite toxic. So it came out that they were together, they loved each other, BJ cheated on her, told her, and then she now dates men so that she doesn't go back to BJ, and BJ now sleeps with women to annoy Magnolia. So it's very harmful behavior, not only to themselves but to each other and the people that they're going out with and sleeping with. Like, I understand why the story is doing this. I don't see me rooting for them as a couple, unfortunately. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm very in the middle of this. I don't know how I feel 100% at the moment, because I'm not rooting for them, but I'm also not mad if they get together. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. At this precise moment, there was a moment where Magnolia asked BJ if he was coming back home with her or going with another girl. He went to hers and it felt like a step forward in the right direction for them. But then the next day she shows up at a club and, like, he's just getting his grind on with a girl. And then Magnolia bumps into Tom England, who she's had a crush on for a long time. They go on a date and they decide that they're going to be like fake boyfriend, girlfriend, so that she could keep BJ at arm's length. And I'm just like, is this helping anyone? No. Like, just talk. I just don't understand why going into a relationship and sleeping about is going to do anything for your relationship with each other. Like, I don't like the miscommunication trope, and I feel like this is hella miscommunication. Like, they both know where they stand and what they want, but they're just not willing to sit down and actually figure out their problems together. They just fuck about. So yeah, I mean, it's fine so far. It's entertaining at the most. Like, even though I'm not rooting for this couple and it's not something that I'm swooning over, it's definitely something that I'm kind of like, you know, eating popcorn and just kind of like, okay, okay. Like, it's entertaining in the junk food of the soul kind of way. Like, this, I don't know, is going to be good in the end, but I'm going to have a ball time reading it because it's fun reading about other people's issues and not your own. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. So my plan is to continue reading this tonight. I don't know how far I'm going to get into it. This is a chunker of a book. I didn't realize how big this was going to be when I ordered it, but It's fine. So I'm going to continue reading this tonight, and then hopefully I will come back and update you on my thoughts about this and my thoughts about Heartstopper Volume 3. And I can tell you now, I'm definitely probably going to love Heartstopper Volume 3. I don't know where I'm going to feel about this book. So if you're interested, stick around and let's find out if BJ and Magnolia are just dicks to each other or are in love. The easiest thing to update you on is I finished volume 3 of Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I really enjoyed this volume. I feel like I said in a previous clip that this was a simple story, and I didn't realise that there was going to be things brought in that makes it a bit more complicated. I thought this was going to be boy meets boy and they live happily ever after, but I should have really gathered that it was going to go into more than that. In this volume, we follow Nick and Charlie as they go on their Paris trip, which was so cute. But in this volume, it's also introduced that Charlie might have an ED, and Nick is just finding this out, and that's an issue of concern. Nick is still coming to terms with his sexuality. The whole troupe in this book are just adorable. I love Darcy. Like, I feel like she's such a whole ass mood. Elle and Tara are just such great friends to Nick and Charlie, and seeing them all together as the Paris group just was so cute. I really enjoyed this one, and I cannot wait to continue with the 4th volume, which is the final volume, which I'm hoping to read tonight so I can finally wrap up this vlog. And yeah, I will say that I ended up watching the TV show and I really enjoyed it. It was everything I thought it would be. I didn't realise that the TV show was going to run from volume 1 and volume 2. I thought it was going to be like all 4 volumes in one season. I don't know why I thought that, but like, I don't know, like, it was perfect the way that they done it, and I was a little bit iffy about the Nick casting choice, but I can tell you that every single member of this cast became favourites at the end, and I completely understand why they were chosen to play the parts that they were. This gave me all the feels. I binged it in one sitting, and I'm so happy that I did. So now I can continue on to the 4th volume with having all the knowledge of the show, and I can finish this off and just love it. I don't know what else to say about it. It's been a minute because I got distracted. So I did finish Magnolia Parks, and I actually took out a whole review video just based on this book alone. I gave it 2 stars. I did not like this romance at all. It was not for me. I don't plan on continuing. I didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. If you're interested in more in-depth thoughts on how I felt about this, I will leave link down below my review for it. But generally, I just feel like Magnolia and BJ were not a couple that I rooted for. It was really messy. Like, they're all toxic. None of the friends are actually real friends. Like, the brand dropping really done my head in, to the point where I was just skimmed that part. Yeah, like, none of the characters were particularly likable. Nothing worked in this book for me. I will say the one thing that worked was that this book was messy enough for me to want to finish it, and I thought I was going to get like a resolve of Magnolia and BJ by the end of it. No, the 3rd book in this series, it continues with their story, so I will not be continuing. So I'm going to spoil myself because I just don't want to read 1,000 pages to get the end of their story, and I just don't care about them, to be honest. But I do care enough to know what happens in the 3rd book, but not enough to read the 2nd and 3rd book. So I'm just going to spoil myself. So the one thing this book had going for it was that it was messy, which made it really entertaining, and it was really entertaining. And I again go back to how I felt when I read the After series by Anna Todd. Did I enjoy that romance? No. But I did enjoy the messy entertainment of it all. And that's what these books are to me. They were fun while I read them, messy entertainment, but nothing I would recommend, and nothing that I would like force myself to read if I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this, so I'm not going to continue on. If you're interested in spoiler and non-spoiler thoughts, the link will be left in the description, because I spoke for about 17 minutes about this book and I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And lastly, we have Heartstopper Volume 4. I loved this. I gave it 5 stars. I gave every book in the series 5 stars. These are a lot more than I thought they would be. I thought they were going to be a very simple story. Boy meets boy, they fall in love, and it's all cute and romance. But there was a lot deeper issues with Charlie's ED and Nick coming to terms with his sexuality and the friend group dynamics. It was more than what I thought it would be, while simultaneously being exactly what I thought it would be. It was romantic and cute, and I just love these characters. I love this world, and I watched the show and I love the show just as equally. So yeah, I did not expect to not like this. I just was scared because it was overhyped, and I was scared that the hype wouldn't make it as good because it was so built up in my head that I got scared. But I'm glad that I've read them now, and this is definitely a series I could see myself rereading if I want something just that's going to take my mind out of reality. If it's going to give me like heartwarming vibes, this is a series I would definitely read. Although I would probably read book volume 1 and 2 if I wanted like the cute happy vibes, and I would read volume 3 and 4 if I wanted something just that little bit deeper to like take my mind off things. This is definitely a series I will revisit, and I loved it so much. So yeah, Heartstopper is so weird because I loved all the Heartstopper books and I hated Magnolia. So I feel like these really balanced each other out. I feel like I got through this because I knew that I was reading this in between. So like the messy, toxic, like non-rooting for the characters in this was balanced out by the cute, lovey-dovey rooting for every character in this. So I feel like this was a perfect pairing unintentionally, and I'm glad that I read them nonetheless. Thank you so very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, Magnolia review will be left down below. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend whenever you're watching this. Remember to stay safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.